Yeah, bridging the gap. Nyomi Banks, the goddess. Tune in. Hey yo, Black, where we at? Elements. Got a problem? What's the issue? Ask Nyomi for advice, she will bless you. Is it sex, love, or relationships? If your spirits are down, you can get a daily uplift. Just listen every word that she speaks. Setting trends with hashtags for every day of the week. Hashtag motivational Mondays, testimonial Tuesdays. I've been listening for the last 2 days. Wet Willie or Wisdom Wednesdays. Either way, the conversation gon' be lengthy. It's not hearsay. This is her way. You know she'll keep you thirst trapping on a Thursday. 4 days down, I'll talk about the number 5 day. Never coy, she always keeps it freaky on Fridays. Spiritual on Saturdays with sessions in the morning. Still uplifting and inspiring you all in. Being the goddess that she is, she keeps you all in. Formed on soul searching Sundays, just call in. If you misinformed, come get the facts. Fortunate for you, she's looking to bridge the gap. Yes, she was a porn star, but she's more than that. She's a certified specialist teaching us how to act. By the end of the show, we'll agree to disagree, but be good to each other and ourselves and keep it sexy. Yeah. Tune in every week to Ask Nyomi. Bridging the gap with Nyomi Banks and Dog Pound Mike. Don't miss it. Tune in.
Hey, what's going on, my sexy people? This is your girl, the goddess Nyomi Banks, and I am back. It's been a long time since I've been live on the radio, on podcast. It's been it's been a minute. But guess who I brought back with me? I brought back Dog Pound Mike. Mike, what's going on, baby?
What's happening, baby?
All right, guys, so welcome to Ask Nyomi Bridging the Gap. This is our very first live show. Well, first I want to do is I want to give a big shout out to my boys, the Elements, Black and Nim. Thank you, baby. Y'all always do a girl good. For real. Y'all always rock with a queen all the time. I come in last minute asking y'all to do something for me, some music, and you drop it for me right then and right there. All right, so let me speak. Let me be transparent here. All right, so it took a minute for me to really want to do this live, but I knew it was time to have something like this, to where me not only sharing my journey, my spiritual journey as I'm moving forward, but also share and inspiring and uplifting others. And we can do that through spirituality as well as sexuality as well. I mean, because that's who I am. That's who we all are. And so it's kind of like fusing and bridging the gap in that way. All right, so this is a new platform that we are on, Riverside. And the reason why I chose this Riverside is because even starting back in my Playboy radio days at series, that it was always, my audience was always a part of my show, that I can actually talk to them one-on-one live on air. And so this is something that Riverside actually gives us the opportunity to be able to do that. But we do have some rules, okay? So I understand I come from the adult industry for all of y'all, but we gonna always keep it sexy here. So if I allow you to come in, to speak to me, to talk, to answer a question or ask me a question, let's keep it sexy. Let's not get it too raunchy, no disrespect, because if you get disrespect, then that's been gone. You don't want to see Southside Chicago come out. That's something you don't want to see. You want to always keep me sexy, okay? All right, so tonight's topic we're going to talk about is self-love, because honestly, we can't talk about nothing else on how to get in bed with somebody else or how to love somebody else unless we love ourselves. Ain't that right, Mike? Right?
Yep, you sure right.
Right. So first, let me give you the gist on what Ask Nyomi is. And see, this is the first thing that I should have did is I thought I turned down my phone.
Turned down all cell phones and devices.
And yeah, I thought I had muted it, but it don't seem that way. Hold on a second. Let me
people want to call you instead of calling the show.
I know, and that's what's happening right now. That is exactly what's happening. It's exactly what's happening. So actually, the very first, so I got a few people here as guests. That was the wrong link that I had sent out. Shame on me. I wanted most of you to come in as audience. So I might just do this. There is a chat let's go to the chat right fast. There is a chat, and if you want to come on camera and you want to speak and say hi, just let me know, okay? Just let me know, and we can go from there. So right now, you are watching me either through YouTube, live on YouTube, or you are watching me live right here on the app. But again, welcome. All right, so let me break it down exactly what Ask Nyomi Bridging the Gap is. So what it is, this is where we discuss love, sex, and relationship, culture differences, and much more while bridging the gap between them all, as I'm educating the world on a healthy sex life, language, attitude, and spirituality. And like I said, today's topic is what is self-love, and we're finding out the true meaning of it, because you got to love yourself before you can love anybody else, as the legend RuPaul says.
He said that?
He said that. He said that.
My fault. She said that.
You know, you're right. My apologies. She said that. I'm corrected.
We don't roll RuPaul on
Thank you.
ass.
No, we don't. And nobody else. You exactly right. All right, so I already told you the rules. We're going to keep it sexy here. As I said, we're going to open up later on down the line for audience to be able to call in and to talk and ask questions. But let's kick it off. What I want to do right now is, our show has been sponsored by Sexy Is Cosmetic. We're going to play a little video for you. I've been using some of their cosmetic and their skincare. Their soap, their charcoal soap is beautiful. I forgot to bring it down. Sorry. But yes, I mean, it keeps my skin glowing, and it keeps this young, youthful look, because I know I'm a 70s baby. So it keeps the skin youthful look. But go ahead, Sexy Is.
Hey, it's your girl, the goddess Nyomi Banks, and Sexy Is Cosmetic is our official sponsor here at Ask Nyomi Bridging the Gap. So you guys make sure you go by sexyiscosmetic.com and let them know Nyomi sent you. Get a great discount. They are naturally 100% organic, vegan. They sell everything from soap to scrubs to everything for you to keep you sexy always. Sexy Is Cosmetics. Use the code AskNyomi for a 10% discount.
All right. That is Sexy Is Cosmetic. Make sure you guys check out their website. They got some really, really nice things there. I believe they're out of Canada. I believe that's where they are, out of Canada. A really great group. So make sure you guys check them out and give them my code of Ask Nyomi, and you will get a 10% discount on that. As well as, let's go ahead and kick it off. This is self-love that we're talking about. And you know, this, so let me tell you, I was really originally going to, this week was supposed to be on threesomes, because I did receive an email a few years ago, and I actually answered it on YouTube. And I wanted to kind of come back to that and do that. But something stood out to me about, you know, having self-love. That's something that I'm really doing in this year, as I call it, the year of the 50, that is all about loving yourself. Because you truly have to know how to love yourself before you can love anybody else. So how can you tell or show somebody how to love you and you don't know how to do it yourself? You understand what I mean? You know, so I'm going to break it down in what I feel are my core elements on what self-love is, as well as give you some of my tips. We got social connection is where I went to pose a few questions out to social media this past week. And I got some info and some feedback from them as well. But I'm going to tell you with the true meaning, well, actually with the meaning that they put in the dictionary on what is self-love. So it's about appreciate of one's worth of virtue. Self-love begins when we observe our actions and words with compassion, as if we are our own best friend. So it was something that I was talking to a few of my friends and my sister, and we were talking about with self-love and how does it all start and how does it begin. And for me, I think it truly begins when we are babies, when we are little. And you get those where your parents or your loved ones, they talk into you or talk to you. And sometimes that is where that groundwork kind of starts from with that self-love. Because in that, you know, especially when you've been being punished for something and you think you did something wrong, and those words that you say to your child or was said to you as a child will actually, be that ground and that foundation on what you feel about yourself, because you've disappointed, someone else. Their expectations of you.
Right.
Am I right? Yeah,
Right.
their expectations of you. So it starts from there. So that's for me when I'm talking to my children, and always been, is that I talk into them, meaning that I talk positive things into them. And even though they made a mistake, I would let them know, okay, let's find out what's the good thing of that mistake, so we don't make that mistake over again and what we learn from it. But it's like giving them positive affirmations to anything and everything they do that will help build that self-love. Because when you send your kids out, whether it's school or whatever like that, you have to make sure that they have that. So now me, I'm getting ready to be 50 years old, I'm trying to unlearn a lot of the things that I've learned through living by other people's expectations. So I'm learning to love myself even more, if that makes any sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, it makes sense. Okay. All right. I told you was going to be a part of this story because I need to see it from a man's point of view. You know what I'm saying? Because they say, how women is so sensitive and men can't be sensitive.
Yeah, y'all
but
sensitive.
Right, but I need Dog Pound Mike to be sensitive. And let me ask you a question for you, because this is a question that I posed on Instagram. For you, what is self-love for you?
Self-love for me, when I'm not loving myself physically, self-love is just what I feel about myself, without the ego kicking in.
Okay.
Because a lot of time when you think about self-love, that ego kick in and you may love yourself more to yourself than you did to being able to help other people. Mm-hmm. So self-love is basically, to me, is how you feeling about yourself.
Right.
And it relates to, if you feel good about yourself, like you're saying, that's when you can feel good about somebody else.
Exactly. So wait. And I'm hoping that I can see. Do me a favor, go back to the chat. I want to see if I see anybody in the chats or if they talking in the chats. And the thing is, please bear with us right here, because this is something new for us being on this platform.
A new system.
Yeah, a totally new system. So I don't know if you're watching on YouTube or you watching directly from the link that I posted above. But if you can, and it's an opportunity for you to go in the chat, then let me know. and let's speak on it. Let's speak on it. All right, so next, let me go. So I want to kind of slow down just a little bit and kind of go back, is what we were talking about, where the foundation of self-love, truly comes from. For me, self-love did start as a little girl, and, people telling me, certain things. So as I grow up, you tend to, that's stuck in your mind, or who they think or who they want you to be, for them. So for me, as I got older and as I got more secure in myself, that self-love it's really loving me in who I am. And then I was able to break it down in so many different ways. But it was like 3 core things that I wanted to, kind of put in there. You know what I mean? Mm-hmm. Like kind of put in there. So that saying of mind, body, and soul. Mind, body, and soul. I broke it down. Those are my 3 core elements.
Okay.
Mind, body, and soul. Mind is my mental. Body is health/sexual. Let's be honest. And soul will be the spiritual of it. That's what it is. The spiritual of it. of it. So we're going to kick it off first with, and I want to make sure that I am saying all of this right. So I'm looking at my notes down here. Yes, I got notes. Yes, I got
we
notes.
big time.
Yeah, and then I'm a little nervous because it's been a minute since I've been on live like this. It really has. All right, so with the mental aspect, again, that's just to repeat what I said before. With just trying to change your mental aspect on expecting from others.
Right.
You know, their expectations on you, on what you should be, and trying to, you know, be that all that they want you to be, and not knowing who you are, you know, completely.
So what you have to kind of break that cycle as a child, because
Yes.
you know, growing up, your parents always tell you, oh, you either this or you that, or sometimes parents say you ain't gonna never be this or that. So, you know, and then the old saying back in the day when the parents tell you stay in the child's place, the
Yes.
child don't supposed to talk, you know,
Yes.
so it's like for some parents, kids not giving no self-esteem to even know what they are. So
Right, they're not given a voice. They're
Exactly.
not allowed to have a voice. I mean, because that was part of my upbringing. My mom was always, you know, a child is supposed to be seen and not heard. So throughout my childhood, I was yelling and screaming throughout the whole time, and it was a battle with that, because I want to be heard. I want to speak my mind, and I want to be who I am. So actually, me coming into the industry, because I always been in the entertainment business, but once I got into the adult industry, and I'm just going to be very honest with me, that allowed me to be me in the most vulnerable possibility that I can. But it also taught me more about myself, where I was able to learn really how to put up, you know,
blinders or
not
skills?
blinders, but now I lost my words. How you can put up boundaries. How you can truly set boundaries with people, and through that industry, it allowed me to. And it's not totally the people in the industry, but it was the people outside of the industry what taught me how I had to put boundaries up, you know, from them, because they see you in a certain light, so they want to approach you and treat you as what they think that you are, but not what you really are.
Right.
You understand what I'm saying? So now that I've been out of the industry, well, let me say out of the industry, I have not performed in front of the industry in that matter in over 10 years. But those images are still out. I knew they would always be out, but no one else could see me anything else but that. Not knowing that it was so much more to me than that. So about a few years ago, right before COVID hit, I actually started a YouTube channel called Nyomi's World. And this is what probably some of you are watching me on. And I chose to open up in a matter to be very transparent in a lot of things that I wanted to share. And also to help eliminate that stereotype, or that that they have for sex workers and people in the industry, and allow them to see us in, I guess, in the raw and the nakedness of it. From then, that is where I started to become more and more on loving myself for everything that I am. That is a part of my Amanda D, Nyomi Banks, you know, all of that in one. That is who I am, and there is no separation from that. If you understand that, don't you?
Yeah.
I don't know difference from that this is me. And I think 2 weeks ago, last week and week before last, we actually did a show. It was pre-recorded. And first of all, I want to thank Rob for, you know, coming in and being so vulnerable and sharing his story, in that he was a person who was dating a porn star. A lot of people do not think that sex workers, strippers, porn star, prostitutes, that they deserve any kind of love or deserve to be in a relationship. And I felt like, yes, they are. But why can't they? But then that goes back to whoever they're in a relationship, also them. It's about you self-loving yourself. Because when you self-love yourself, then you able to find, and it's not even find because you're not looking, but you're able to attract that same love back. You understand what I'm saying? So that's why I really wanted to do self-love first before we really get in, and we get in and we talk a little serious and we have a little fun and we talk about sex and all that other stuff. But that's what I wanted to make sure that we were talking about with self-love. And I wanted to let you guys know what were my core elements of self-love is. And I said it's mind, body, and soul with the mental. I told you about the mental. Now we're going to talk about the body. You know, I've been on this health kick for the past few years. and up and down with different diets and things of that sort. And was it for my body to look right and shapely? Yes, it was. But also it was to remove the different feelings and the elements in my body that I felt that wasn't right with it. But then let's go on to talking about your sexual being. I think that's something that, okay, so I'm about to be real on this. I did not start to self-please myself, masturbate, until I got into the industry. No lie. I went 30 plus years without masturbating. Ain't that something? Without self-pleasing myself. Ain't that something?
That's a long time.
It is. Because it was said to me and taught to me that those things that you're not supposed to do. You understand what I'm saying? Like, you're not. For me, I'm going to say, ladies and men, that's something that you need to do. I believe it's healthy. I believe it's healthy not only for your body, but I also believe that it's healthy because now you know parts of your body. You know what turns you on and you know what doesn't. So you can be able to tell whoever it is that you with how to love you in that manner. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So even let's go back a little bit. Even with the mental, it's more of what they say, love language.
Yes.
So if you don't know the words or what words that make you feel good or whatever like that, that makes you this right here good, then how can you tell somebody else on how to treat you?
Right.
You know what I mean?
I guess a lot of people, and this for men and guys, but you learn that as you go on because I'm not for sure. I don't know the facts on this, but I think guys probably masturbate more and at a younger age than a woman or a girl does. So guys maybe know how to please themselves and what they want from a female before.
That's what it said. Back in the day when I was with, and I'm gonna keep saying this because all I can do is go reference back to Playboy Radio. And in that realm of things, I had a show they called Masturbating Neighbors. That was the name of the show. It was called Masturbating Neighbors, where people would call in. And we would talk about masturbating, and we would have these sex talks, and we have these stories or whatever. And one of the questions, especially when I had guests on, one of the questions was, when was the first time that you started masturbating? Right. When was the first time that you masturbated? And also, when was the first time that you lost your virginity? And I was truly surprised and amazed on how young some of these people were when they spoke about them masturbating. And I was like, are you serious? They were like, yeah. And sometimes it was like more of humping on pillows and things of that sort to get that stimulation up. And I think this is where we as parents need to start really educating and talking to our kids about what those sensations and what those feelings are, But of course, you do it at a age appropriate, lingo or language for them.
But these days, what is age appropriate? That's what
that's true.
Because sex is more available everywhere. And as people say, it's right in your pocket on your phone. So back in the day, I had to find a Playboy or Hustler book.
Okay, all right, Playboy Hustler. All right, who was your favorite go-to? Who was your favorite go-to?
Girls. I had no preference. They had to be I didn't know no names. I just see some pictures. I guess, my favorite go-to was the centerfold because it showed everything. So I guess her name was Centerfold. Her name was Centerfold.
Wow. All right, so my third element and my last element for it is the soul, the spiritual thing. And this is what I read. So I had to go in and make sure that what I was thinking was it was supported by something. It was supported by something, and I'm just not up here just babbling and just speaking to make sure that once people listening to this, even in the back play, they'll be like, oh, okay. I can feel that. I can understand that. So here it goes. So self-love and spiritual awakening go hand in hand. In other words, if you commit to self-love, you also commit to a deeper spiritual transformation. So love is the quality of heart and soul. And when you actively seek to expand that sense of self-compassion, you're also awakening to new parts of your being. Yeah. And I can totally agree to that. I went in the closet about 10 years ago. And when I say I went in the closet about 10 years ago, I went in the closet literally 10 years ago. I shaved all my hair off. Went in the closet. Like, I literally had papers like this that I was writing on, that I wrote down here, prayer, everybody that I was wanted to forgive, everybody that I wanted to ask for forgiveness from, all of that. Like, I literally had prayers all over on the wall. I was like literally going through like a spiritual awakening, didn't know what it was. And it was a hard one. It was truly hard. I remember waking up in the middle of the night and calling my sister, and then calling my uncle, who was a pastor, and speaking to him, and like, I don't think I'm supposed to be a minister or a pastor. I know that because I was just in porn. Ain't no way that I'm supposed to be standing up in somebody's pew, in the pulpit and speaking in that matter. And I was like, no, that's not what I'm going to do. That's not what I'm going to do. But little did I know that all the time that I had been speaking to people, where I'm on set, I'm speaking to people, and it was all about, it wasn't coming from a judgy place, nothing of that, but I was speaking positive things into them, inspiring things, hopefully putting them on a right path. Maybe this is not where you're supposed to be, so maybe you should go here, or maybe you should do that. You know what I'm saying? Like that. And as I got really sitting down with myself and meditating and prayer and all of those things, I was like, wow. And I kept feeling people coming to me and speaking to them, and just words just come off like quickly. And I'm like, wow. And that made me love myself even more. Like even more. And I was like, okay, here we go. I know what I'm going to do now. I know what I'm going to do now. And this is where I'm at. Right here on Ask Naomi Bridget the Gap, right in front of y'all. Talking about self-love today. And that's what we talk about. So what I want to do is, I want to take a quick little break. I'm going to go get some water. Go get me some water. And then we're going to come back. We're going to take our sponsor, Sexy Ears. And then we're going to come back, and I'm going to see if we can open up these phone lines for some calls in. And we'll see. All right?
Hey, it's your girl, the goddess Naomi Banks, and Sexy Is Cosmetic is our official sponsor here at Ask Naomi Bridget the Gap. So you guys make sure you go by sexyiscosmetic.com and let them know Naomi sent you. Get a great discount. They are naturally 100% organic, vegan. They sell everything from soap to scrubs to everything for you to keep you sexy always. Sexy Is Cosmetics. Use the code Ask Naomi for 10%.
Know that they ride or die. I keep boys by my side. Know that they ride or die. I keep boys by my side. Day we hustle, but the night we know that they ride.
I want to tell you about my top fives. I want to talk to you a little bit about social connection. And I want to give you this percentage of that. So this is my thing. You know how we always have this preconceived notion on something, and especially women, we get probably the biggest on about us not self-loving ourselves. You know what I'm saying? Because we wear makeup or lashes or wigs or hair, or get boob implants. So that is, for me, that's one of the big misconceptions of self-love, is because you do all of these things to make you look like what? You understand? So they feel like say this, this is my wig. I haven't made a name for her yourself, but throughout this whole show, every show that I have, I might not come looking the same. I might have a different queen on at that time. You know what I'm saying? But that's because I like to be different. I like to kind of switch it up. I like to be a chameleon. You know what I'm saying? To where I'm able to do that, you know, and with my makeup, all it does is just enhance the beauty that God has already given me. My contacts. I wear contacts. I wear green, blue, light brown, gray. I had some gray ones at one time. And then I have my beautiful, natural, big brown eyes. But I wear them not only to see, but just to enhance who I just want to just have them. And it should be okay with that. But I had posed a question up about who do you feel lacks self-love more, men or women? And I was very, very surprised at the percentage that came back for men versus women. And I'm going to go here to my notes here. And it was 54% men and 46% women. Can you believe that?
Wow.
Right. And you know,
Wow.
Yeah, for real. You know, I was surprised by that number. So I did it on three of my social medias. I did it on my Instagram, on Nyomi Banks Instagram, on Ask Nyomi Instagram, and on Nyomi Banks Twitter. And I was really surprised at how many men were being very honest about them having a lack of self-love for themselves. Because I really thought that they were going to say women. And the thing is, I had even prepared a whole argument for that. I can't even argue it now because the proof is in the pudding. They told me, like, no, men, we have, we lack it. We lack it. But for you, Mike, and because you're a man.
That's why I'm here.
Right. So where would you feel that a man lack of self-love would come from? Because for women, they say it's our looks, our body, whatever. For men, would that be the same thing, or would it be something different?
In some men it will be, but I think the biggest difference in men may be not their look, but how they're perceived by other people. Are they perceived by people, especially women? So if they go places and they can't pick up a girl, or girls don't talk to them, and situations like that, they would lose their confidence. And then men lose in confidence in other men. Like if you play basketball, you ain't the best player. If you ain't the best athlete, if you ain't the best looking, if you ain't the best, they lose confidence in themselves because they compare themselves to other men.
Okay.
So, and that's where they lack their confidence, which is lack their loving themselves, because they compare themselves to other people.
But it was one person, which I feel too that it's an even for me.
Okay.
I now really, when I see it now, I was like, wow, yeah, it's an even. But I was just so surprised, and I really thank myself, because the percentage of men that follow me is probably like
90 to 1, 99 to 1.
Yeah, it's probably about 92%. 92%. And for them to be very honest with me on, that it was men, because I really thought, because I have so many male followers, that it will be the women, number will be high, and it wasn't. So I'm going to say, sorry for my wrong, feeling wrong like that. Like, serious, I was wrong. I was wrong with that. All right, so the second question that I posed was, what is self-love to you? All right, in this one, I got a lot of mixture answers with that. A lot of people answer more of a mental or of a self-loving and self, whether it's putting yourself first, to making sure, you got your mental and all of that together. Where I had a lot of people that said, well, my self-loving is watching one of your videos.
Bam, there it is. There it is.
Is watching one of your videos. So it was interesting to kind of see that. And it was like, yes, so that really tells me about the mind, body, and the soul, that even with self-love, that it has to be a sexual manner in it. You understand what I'm saying?
Yeah.
And then also with it, it has to be a spiritual connection with it, a mental connection with it. And that's what I'm saying when I'm just bringing it all back together to my 3 cores: mind, body, and soul.
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yep.
All right, so we're going to keep on going. We're going to keep on going with this. It was my top 5.
Mm-hmm.
So these are Nyomi top 5 self-love tips. Just 5 of them. Just 5 of them. And here they go. So my number one for Nyomi's top self-love tips is, in the morning, when you get up in the morning, you got some time, look at yourself from head to toe in the mirror. And this is something that I did, especially when I was going through my spiritual and my personal journey, is that I looked at everything from the scars to the stretch marks to all of those things, the fat, the cellulite, everything. And I had to look at myself. I had to look at everything that was on my body and remember where some of that came from. You understand what I'm saying? And in that process of it, it's like I went through a journey through myself by watching that. And I start to use them as positive affirmations for myself, meaning that if I had a bruise right here, like, where did that bruise come from? Did it come from me playing basketball, or did it come from me doing this or doing that? And what did I learn from that bruise? Right. From that, did I ever hit that part again? So even I'm thinking about the cellulite or the stretch marks that I have. Some of the stretch marks that I have that's on my butt, on my ass, and my titties, that come from me gaining weight from birthing 3 beautiful girls. You understand what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. So it's like every part of my body, now I'm learning to embrace it and to appreciate it. That even in this time where everything is crazy, that thank you for just being with me. I think I posted, it's about a month or something ago, about your body being the carrier of your soul.
Right.
And that is what I do. I thank every bit and part of my body, from head to toe, on just thanking you for carrying this precious thing, which is my soul. So that's something that I challenge you guys to do, is just look at yourself, at all your fat, your rolls, your cellulite, all of those things that you think you dislike, and look at it again and again and again, and just like, thank you. Thank you. And I'm so serious. Thank you. All right. So that was number 1. Number 2, be kind to yourself. Speak into yourself. Speak positive affirmations to yourself. I'm so serious when I say to do that. Do that. Do that. Okay. Number 3, it is okay to celebrate both your wins and your loss. It is okay to celebrate them both, because guess what? You still are gifted with something. You are gifted with a learning experience. You are gifted with, I'm not going to do that ever again in life. And also you are gifted with, it tells you something about whoever you've been dealing with at that time. Am I right?
Right. Yes.
Am I right?
Yes, you are.
See? All right. And number 4, this is something that has been hard for me, and I'm doing it more now because my life, it has been in front of the camera. So it's been letting go of what society and others' expectations of me are. And what I say, that ain't none of my business. So anybody expectations of you, or what they think you should do, or what you should be doing, or how you should be looking or acting or whatever, that ain't your business. That's their expectations. That ain't got nothing to do with you. So once we start to let that go and be who we are, I think you'll be good. I think you'll be good. So that's my number 4. And my number 5. So I'm going to read it to y'all. Experiencing joy in alignment with your true self. It's like we create our own reality with the universe in itself, and the universe wants us to be happy, and it gives us exactly what we want, projecting outside what we create inside of us. So what that means is that the reality that you have in your mind, start to change that and align that of what you want to feel. You know what I mean? So if you want to feel good about yourself and you know it's something you can do, whatever it is that you put your mind to, you can do it. We have to start blocking out other people on what their perceptions was number 4, and start aligning ourselves on what we are, who we truly are, and own it and love it and be there. As long as you are not hurting nobody else. That's all. If you are not hurting anybody else and you are being you are being respectful to others, but you still are you, then you be you.
There you go.
You be you. You be you.
It don't get no easier.
It don't get no easier. It don't get no easier. So I just thought about something. I'm sorry. I'm about to go a little bit off topic. So I'm like, why are we stuck? Let me tell you why we're stuck, because I put that that link out for all the guests. And I got like over 500,000 followers through all of my social media. So it probably shut it down. It probably shut it down. You see what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. It probably shut it down. So, but I'm glad that I had this chance, because it's kind of like a little, I guess a little trial with me right now that I'm able to do this right here, so we can really see. So if you're listening and you can hear me clear, I know somebody will see. Please send me notes on what you saw, what you didn't see, if you heard any glitches or anything like that, because we definitely need to know exactly what's going on so that we can get better with this programming and bring it out to you like we want to do. I mean, we're booking guests to come in the future so we can share some insights, with all of you guys, from professional celebrities to all of those things. And we coming right to you and talking to you. And if you got questions for them, they will be right here to answer those questions. So we want to make sure when the time is right and we start to do things of that sort, we want to know what we're working with. We want to know what we're working with. And you, our audience, who is also our co-stars, we want to make sure that you are a part of this journey, right?
Yep.
All right, so every morning I get up and I pray and I meditate. And I always ask if there's something that I need. Well, actually, this is what happened. So Sunday, I was up, I was praying, meditating, and things of that sort. And I have been very nervous about coming on live for a while. So my anxiety hit high. All of those things was just going through, and I was like, I don't know how to close off this show.
Right.
It's not like Chocolate Radio. Chocolate Radio is when we were on there acting the plum boot fool. I mean, we had a great time.
We had after party.
Right. We had an after party. It was myself, Dog Pound Mike Irvin, Dog Pound Irvin was in the house. It was Alexander DeVoe, Tish. So we had a conglomerate of people that we were able to feed off of. We had some really great topics that we were talking about. We was being real, raw, and uncut with things. And we kind of left the spiritual side of it. I think we did one show about that one time that got a little high. But it's something that I want to kind of bridge and make and mix in this all into one right here, that we can talk about it all with the cultural differences and things of that sort. So I was like, how can I share? How can I end this show off that I can send my viewers, my fans, or whoever you are, with the week with something positive, right? Something positive. So this is what I wrote. So I'm going to just put it wrong. So we're going to call this Nyomi's Moment. All right. So just the other day during my prayer and meditation, I was asking, how can I end my first live show? What can I give to my audience that can help them get through the rest of the week, that they can all resonate with? Heartbreak and control came to me. Healing heartbreak wounds. I, for one, can truly understand this because I myself have been through heartbreak, and it truly did rattle my self-love for myself. We always wonder what's wrong with us and why that person couldn't love us the way that we needed. Or why did God take my loved one away from me? But what I did learn through this journey is that it's not always all about me, or it's not always about you. It might be a point that that person was going through something and did not know how to be in that moment with you. Sometimes we are not supposed to be together only for a season. You understand? And sometimes we outlive those seasons and try to keep pushing forward with a relationship that sometimes that's not what it's supposed to be. So whatever that you in that relationship for, that's what you learn from that relationship. You understand what I'm saying? So what made me appreciate that heartbreak more is me to start to heal. That's one of my prayers that I always have for everybody, is that he would to go into everyone's home and to heal their hearts. Because right now social media is very, very mean. They are very, very mean, and they need some healing going on to them. So that is one of the, also control. And within control is what I take from that, is that we need to start learning how to control our response to people. Because one thing is that we cannot control what people do or say to us. But what we can control is our reaction to them.
Right.
We can control our reaction to them. So I send you all out. And this world is this, as I always say, always be good to one another in yourselves. I hope you enjoy what you can see of this show on Ask Naomi Bridging the Gap. I want to thank the Elements once again. Black Nim, thank you for that beautiful song. Mike, Dog Pound.
We'll be back.
We at it again. I want to thank Sexy Is Cosmetics. Thank you so much. And hey, always keep it sexy.
Relationships. If your spirits are down, you can get a daily uplift. Just listen every word that she speaks. Setting trends with hashtags for every day of the week. Hashtag motivational Mondays testimonial.